we're gonna be using just roll puff pastry. I hope that focused because that would really upset me. Let me try that again. And we're gonna be using just roll puff pastry. To AngryBlackKitchen. This week is National Pie Week and your homegirl is about to give you 3 amazing pie recipes. The first one is going to be a Nigerian meat pie recipe, but we're doing it the easy way. So I think one of the hardest parts of cooking meat pie is actually the pastry. So we're gonna skip all of that and we're gonna be using just roll puff pastry. Hey! So I'm helping you guys at home get the best meat pie you can get without too much work. So what we're going to be using for this recipe, it's really straightforward and simple. We're gonna be using, obviously, minced beef. Got some diced potatoes. We have some diced onion, both white and red. We have some diced carrots. We have some minced garlic. We have, in here, we have black pepper, curry powder, chili powder, and my secret ingredient for this, suya spice. I am a fiend for suya, and I believe just adding suya spice to your meat dishes is exactly what you want for that Nigerian flavor. We have thyme, fresh thyme. We have just roll puff pastry, and then we have rapeseed oil. This is everything you need to cook the ultimate yet easy meat pie. And so we're just gonna get straight into this video. I'm just trying to keep this nice and really short and snappy for you guys. So the first thing we want to do is add some oil into the pan that is on the hob, and there we have it. Ooh. Oops. And I'm going to add a few sprigs of thyme into that, just because I want to kind of flavor the oil a bit before I add in the meats. In all honesty, I probably should have gotten rosemary or some sage, but you can go for whatever floats your boat. I'm also going to add the garlic into this, so I'm just going to shake that in, and you've got the minced garlic now in there. I'm now going to add some of the onions, not all of it, so I'm just going to take a handful and add it. It's nicely diced. Really finely diced. Well, not finely, because I think it's nice to have chunks in the recipe. So I didn't dice it finely, I just kind of did it real nice and chunky basically. And sweat that down a little bit. Now I'm going to add in all the seasoning that I've got here and just sprinkle that all in. Just to recap, that was curry powder 1 teaspoon, suya spice 1 teaspoon, black pepper 1 teaspoon, and chili powder 1 teaspoon. And what you do is you just mix all that seasoning into that and just let that simmer for a little while before we then go on to the next step. What we're now going to do is turn that down a bit and add in our minced beef. Ooh. I'm going to break that down into the onion, garlic and thyme mix. Next, we're just going to go in with the seasoning cubes. We have a Knorr Original cube and 2 Knorr Maggi cubes. Oops, look at that. Technically, we have 2 of this because it's usually 2 in a pack. And what I'm going to do is just crush the 2 into the meats. That's what's going to give our meats some more of the flavour. I'm going to mix it all in nicely. I'm now going to cover that and let it cook through for a few minutes. I'm going to time it and then give you an accurate timing. So I had that on for about 4 to 5 minutes, and honestly, this looks so delicious. Oh, I'm just going to break this up a bit and then give you a close-up shot of what it looks like. It's not thoroughly cooked through, so I'll say maybe 5 to 6 minutes on medium heat should give you a thoroughly cooked mincemeat. What I'm going to do is just take out the sprigs, the stems from the thyme. So this is the close-up, and you can see how it's created its own stock. You can see how the meat has browned really beautifully, and oh, you can literally practically taste how good this is. What we're now going to do is add our vegetables. So as I said, I have diced carrots. I'm going to add those. Don't want too much, but you don't want too little. It really depends on you. It depends on the kind of taste you're going for and consistency. And then the diced potatoes, just add that in. And what we're going to do, I'll now add a bit more of the onions, just because I personally didn't want all of the onions thoroughly sweated down. And last but not least, the 2 cubes. Oof, maybe not the 2. What I'm going to do is actually taste this sauce and figure out if I should add 2. Yeah, the 2 of the Maggi. What you can do after is, once it's thoroughly cooked, depending on your palate, who you're cooking for, what you're going for, you can then add a bit more all-purpose seasoning or Maggi. Everything is to taste, so it really is dependent on what you're going for, what you would like. I'm gonna add more potatoes, a bit more carrots. Don't think I'll use all of it, but probably most of it. And what were, the flavour in the meat is exactly what you want. You can now see how well combined the potato and the carrots are, and what we're going to do is just leave this to simmer for a few more minutes. I will say probably about another 5 to 6 minutes for it to simmer and for the potato and the carrots to soften up. So we'll leave that on medium heat for another few minutes, and once everything has softened up, we're probably going to add a little bit of corn flour just to make it all one, so they combine and they're all nice and one, and it's a nice, I can't think of the word for it, but you're going to get that nice meat pie consistency that you want inside. And then we're going to go on to the pastry. Right, so we're going to check on this. Oh, that looks so good. I'm going to grab a potato. Check that. We're going to grab another potato. Check that it's cooked through. Lovely. Grab a carrot. Check that it's cooked through. Not as soft as I'd like it to be. So the next step is, what you've got here is a really nice mixture of everything, but the stock is still very stocky. What we need to do is turn it almost like into a thick gravy. And to do that, have 1 tablespoon of corn flour that we're going to put into a jar. We have half a cup of water, but I might not use all of it, to be honest. I'm going to pour some into, that's cold water by the way, and just mix that together till I get a paste, not even a paste, a liquid. Add a drop more of water. So literally you just need a bit of water, you do not need too much. And you're just going to mix that together. So you're happy with that. And then you end up with this. And you're just going to pour that into the stock. Get that all out. And what this is going to do, it's going to thicken up the stock and create a really nice thick sauce. It's going to join all the ingredients together basically. The addition of the corn flour has kind of gotten rid of the stock. And once I let it simmer for a bit, you will then see the stock has kind of turned almost into a paste like, and everything just becomes one. Now you have this beautiful, still get a bit of the oil on top, but once you mix it in, you've just got this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mix of meats, carrots and potatoes. Just take a look at that. And now we're pretty much all done. What I'm going to do is set this to one side and get the pastry ready and actually make the meat pies and put them in the oven. Ooh, I'm excited. Here we have our wonderful meat mix. Oh, that looks so gorgeous. And our trusty Just Roll puff pastry. I'm gonna open this up and roll this baby out. So it comes in a pack like this. Open that. Oops. Oh. Open that up. He doesn't see that. And then you have the pastry here, which you literally just, oh, this is so nice. Unroll, unravel, and there you have it. What you do is you take that off. Don't use a rolling pin on it, because what that does, it actually compresses the puff according to Just Roll. I'm just going to put some flour on here so it doesn't stick onto my board. And I'm just going to lay that here. Oh. And I'm going to just pull it out a bit, stretch it, because I don't want my... What they say is you should stretch it. It's advisable you stretch the puff pastry and not roll it. So I'm just going to kind of stretch it out. You can see it's ripping there, which isn't ideal, but so I'm just kind of gently stretching it. Right, and what we're going to do is I want to make 2 large meat pies. So I'm just going to get that, push that in, and oh, and we have 1 circle there, and we should be able to get another circle here. What we're going to do now is just spoon the mix into the middle of the pastry. Should really be, yeah, I think the middle's okay. And then we're going to fold this over. And there we have the first one. Kind of want to spread out the meat a bit. Just grab a fork and just kind of press down on the edges as you would. I'm realizing this is a really big meat pie, but we're gonna see how it comes out. Another thing I've not fully thought through is the lifting of this onto the it's not the prettiest, but there you have one big ass meat pie that's going to puff right up. So I'm just going to repeat that for you, just because I wasn't really happy with that first one. So firstly, and that is a mess up. Got the pastry, and what we're going to do is just get it out around the edges. I'm going to spoon it in a bit flatter and a bit more even. There's nothing worse than eating a meat pie that is void of meat. I think that is why I have a disdain for traditional Nigerian meat pies. Because what tends to happen is they just don't have enough meat in them. Either auntie's being stingy, or I don't know. Because there's no reason for there to not be enough meat in it. So here we have another one. Again, go around the edges. A bit slow, might have to do it, but it's worth it. Just so you can see, literally just using the fork to seal the edges all the way around this beauty. What I will advise is making sure that the filling is cold when doing this, because I think because the filling is a bit hot, it's been a bit more difficult. You're going to get your tray with baking paper on it, and you're just going to gently move the meat pie as gently as possible over onto your tray. You can see here it's kind of messed up a bit. I'm just going to patch it up. I'm going to get a bit of the pastry and just use that to patch it up. It'll survive. And now I'm going to put this in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes or until it's a golden brown, and then we're going to check the meat pie out. And here we have the final result. It's come out so nice, and oh, and this is the moment of truth. Oh God, look at that. Can you just see how wonderful that is? And there you have it. Puff pastry meat pie. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to share, like and subscribe. And I'm just gonna get into this. Oh my God, I've done it again. See you in the next video.